Europeans from better managed economies are not giving handouts to Greece. They're giving loans to Greece, and loans at relatively high interest rates. In other words, the people of countries in Europe giving those loans are not losing money. They will be making money because Greece will pay and repay every one of these euros.
But how can we be sure that you're able to repay the loans?
Well, because you have to look at my record up to now, look at how I've changed the country, and also because, and this is the important thing that I wish to bring out, because Europe realized that this is not simply a Greek issue, and that what Greece did or did not do in and of itself would not give the full answer to the issue of the debt problem of Europe. Portugal and Ireland getting into the mechanisms underlined this in the most stark way. So Greece has made those tough decisions for its own self, but Europe is now making them for its own self. And that combined response, I think, is unbeatable if you are to look at Europe getting out of this crisis stronger and better than before.
But according to leading economists, there is a risk that Greece will face default.
Yes, and I have been listening to those predictions of leading economists for the past year and a half. In fact, even before the first measures were applied in Greece, I was reading analysis about Greece would never make it, about how the program was in itself, a default kind of program, about Europe not having the will to stand by its decisions. And I'm here a year and a half later, and Europe has not fallen. The euro is, in spite of this huge crisis in the whole of Europe, one of the strongest currencies in the world. It's maybe lost 15, 20 cents in the past year and then regained it again. So anyone who is predicting that either Greece will default or other European countries will default or that Europe will collapse and euro will collapse.
But can you
all these things go together, and all these things have been in the past year and a half in practice proven to be false.
As you mentioned earlier, you have plans to cut the public sector by a third. Are you sure the Greek people are willing to pay that price?
Well, as I mentioned before, the changes made already are very, very hard for any democracy. No other democratic country in Europe has ever made them. And the government is still here, standing. The people in Greece are very wise. They're not happy about having salaries cut.
But they're also protesting in the streets?
Many are. But the major problem, of course, is not whether or not you expect people to be happy for having the salaries cut or the pensions cut. No one would be. Not in Sweden, not in Greece. The main problem is, and the main issue to discuss is, are the Greek people realizing the importance of making these changes irrespective?
Are they?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, in 2009, they voted a new government in, us, demanding a better managed public service, demanding that the hospitals work better and serve better people without spending the unbelievable amounts of money they used to in waste, demanding a better education system, demanding that we don't borrow billions of euros to waste who knows where, but in fact that we invest them in Greece's growth. All these changes are happening now. All these were demands of the Greek people before the crisis, before the loans, before the support program.
Tax evasion is common in Greece, and you desperately need more tax money. How are you going to solve this?
And we're desperately collecting it. We're changing the tax law as we speak, and we're changing the tax collection system as we speak.
Would that be enough?
Yes. It is the biggest scourge that Greece has, potentially. I think the question is very good because it puts its finger on a real problem. There are billions of euros that we lose every year in tax evasion. This may sound strange to Sweden, but it is not strange in Greece, and indeed not strange in some other European countries, although in Greece the problem is humongous.
Why in Greece?
Why in Greece in particular?
Yeah.
Because there has been for a number of years a sense that the tax money doesn't necessarily go in what people are paying it for, as opposed to what the case in Sweden is. It is, and because then after that you get into a whole mentality that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of sorts. We are making a tax system that is much fairer. Rich people will be paying many more taxes. They will not be able to tax evade. Poorer people will be paying less taxes, but the total collection of taxes will skyrocket. Again, please look at my record and don't give me any blank checks. I don't want them. Look at how it works, supervise it, And I hope that we can be sitting here in a few months' time and I can be looking at you in the eye and you can tell me you did it right.
Finally, I guess you're having Europe's toughest PR job. How does that feel?
I don't feel so, because I don't feel that I am doing any PR job for my country alone.
You're selling Greece, aren't you?
I am selling Europe, and I am selling Greece. Let's move ahead and look at the great power we have if we unite in this crisis to face it.